Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about Bay FC and the 2026 NWSL season. So this is a little preview of that. Okay, and my hot take on this team: they're one of the hardest teams to figure out going into this season. Several reasons why. That usually actually means one of two things. It means they're either about to break through and we're all excited and some big things are happening, or they're about to wildly be overrated and underachieve again. And this roster, there was a lot of turnover, and this matters for it's a major reset. It looks like, and also a new coach on the sideline, big midfield investment, and new attacking pieces. Sure. Some defensive changes and a front office that's clearly saying, well, we're not here to hang around. We're going to make moves, but I'm not sure that these moves are exactly planned out the way they need to go. Disjointed would be a word I would use to describe it, which sucks because I want Bay FC to do well. Okay, number one, I want them to do well. Part of their ownership group are some of my favorite players to ever put on a U.S. jersey, especially in Ali Wagner. Okay, probably the best midfielder we ever produced. The injuries limited her career, but what a brain that woman had. And has as a pundit, of course. So let's start with the biggest statement move, though. Claire Hutton coming in, big move. That's a statement right there. Okay, so much there's just upside to Claire Hutton. Period. We all know this. Okay, so they went out and got Claire Hutton. But because you pay big money for a midfielder like that, you're saying one thing loud and clear: we're here to get better. We are not here to just screw around, and they needed more bite. They got a little more bite with her, but they got a little more savvy as well. And honestly, that was needed. They needed Claire Hutton because Bay has had moments where they look dangerous, but they're not always stable, and they're not always connected. Hutton will go a long way to making sure those midfield connections stay, consistently connected, if you will. And they also had a lot of control issues of the game in managing clock. Well, let's just face it. They had a lot of issues, and hopefully they've addressed some of those. We're looking at that, as Claire Hutton to be that stabilizing force, but that's a lot to put on her young shoulders. I think you all would agree. Let's look at the attack, though. They added Kira Berry. They brought in Garelli on loan. Garelli is 36 years old, going on 37 if I'm not mistaken. That's an interesting piece to bring in. And she still's got some legs and she brings some experience, but I don't expect her to play 26 games of 90 minutes. That's not going to happen. So, but the team needed more quality and more threats to build around, Rachel Kunananji, okay? Because too often with Bay, they are relying on Kunananji to freaking carry the team and create all the chaos. And the fact is, she played in 24 games last year, missed 2 with injury, started at least 20, but she had 4 goals and 4 assists. And that's not good enough to be your leading scorer, okay, especially with the drop-offs they had around her. And that's basically the truth. I'm sorry for that, but they're going to go as far as Kudananji takes them, and right now she can't take them far enough because there just hasn't been enough pieces to take pressure off. So that's the truth. I'm sorry. Hutton matters, of course. Garelli matters, of course. Barry coming in matters, of course. They're dangerous players, but the problem with Kundananji is she's still been inconsistent. She's still incomplete, and they need more help around her because she just can't get better if she's constantly under pressure so much that she can't really grow into games to grow into her ability. And that's the swing factor. So let's talk about some of the departures real quick, though, because Bay lost a lot of players, okay? And 2 for me that stand out. One is Hawking, the other one is Oshuala, okay? And they had that's a little bit of talent gone. So they're changing shape with the players they're bringing in, and sometimes you look at these incoming names and you get excited, but the real question is not did they add talent. The real question is did they find the right balance, okay? And because if you remember last year's season for Bay, their imbalance in their roster, and their imbalance applies all the way across the field in there, but they needed some definite help. And now we have 2 other issues. Dahlkemper and Emily Mingus, if I'm not mistaken, I had to double check that because I thought Mingus had a different injury, but it's not an injury. It's maternity leave, okay, and Dahlkemper. So you're missing those 2, and that's a lot of experience, that's a lot of leadership, and that's part of your stability, and now that's not going to be there, okay? So now Bay are asking a lot from the group that they have, and maybe asking a little too fast for them to come in, okay? So One of those reasons might be the new coach. And speaking of the coach, that may be the biggest story of all. Bay FC brought in Emma Coates, and I'm assuming it's Coates and not Quatez because the anglicized version. Forgive me if I butchered that. I didn't actually look that up. My fault. So it's not about just the new players. It's about a new identity. So you have a new voice on the sideline, a new structure who's going to have her own ideas. And let's be honest here, new ideas are not always about equal immediate results. They don't equal immediate results. They can lead you down a disastrous path in the start. And the fact is, your first 10 games in the NWSL are huge. You set the tone there. And if you are headed downwards, you're probably going to stay downwards, okay? And this league is punishing if you screw up. It's not everyone can be Gotham FC and rise from the grave and win the freaking title in the playoffs. The NWSL does not care about your long-term project. They are a weekly result-orientated league, and the parity makes you pay for losses, okay? And so what's this league AFC doing in 2026? Well, here's my read. They are better, sure. They've showed some ambition, sure. They're more serious, but are they a top-tier contender? Absolutely not, okay? Not yet. I think they're possibly a playoff team, and I mean possibly slip in at the end because I do not see this team coming together quickly enough to make the noise they need to make, all right? So, but the weird thing is I think they're kind of dangerous, and you don't want to turn your back on them while you're playing them thinking you're just going to bag 3 points, especially at home. What support they have there is great. So, again, they absolutely have talent, but they've got to prove that they can come together as a team and play consistently week after week with whatever system is going to be developed around these players with the new coach coming in. So I think they should be in the playoff conversation. I'm not sure they'll actually make the playoffs, though. I'm really not convinced yet. We'll see, though, and I hope so, but I'm not buying it at this point yet. Not till we see the back line settle, not till we see how the midfield's going to come together with Hutton in there. Not till we see if we can get some more support around Kudananji up top to get more goals, because 4 goals from your top scorer or who's supposed to be the top scorer, not good enough. I have no use for scorers who can't score, as any team should have be. Doesn't mean you're not bringing them along, that you're going to support her and try to get those goals, but you can't just sit there and have a scorer who doesn't score, and they need goals in a big time. So, but if Hutton comes and continues to develop and settle that midfield, maybe some good things happen. So they have upside, but the upside's not enough to get you in the playoffs. They got to get those results, and so that's why also they're one of my most uncertain teams going in. And I've seen some very generous grades given to them for what they did in the offseason, and I'm not convinced. It looks a little bit hodgepodge, and I hope I'm wrong for Bay FC fans, but I'm saying squeaking into the playoffs if they make it. All right. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. But if you made it this far, I have one little plug, and that involves my family. We're going through it still. My wife's been fighting incurable leiomyosarcoma cancer for 1.5 years. We've been up and down financially, and every time I think we're out of problems, we have other problems. So we have some merch. There's exclusive U.S. soccer hat that you can find the link below. If you buy it directly from us versus our eBay or Amazon site, it helps us more. We're really trying to shut down virtual soccer's retail globally. It's basically failed at this point. There's no way I can keep it going. But it would help us out. There's some other links you could help with below if you so choose. And if you do choose to help, I really, really appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.